Here I am, Beyonce, aka Morpheus. You're now listening to the Academy of Wow Men. And today I'm going to confirm and initiate some common sense. But of course, you see the title already. You're going to say, okay, what are you going to talk about now? You're going to try to put men down now. You're going to try to be a male misandrist, because that's how some of you think. You think that's what I'm doing. You think that's my angle here. You think because you're not really thinking. You're being emotional right now. So let me explain some stuff to the slow and the sloth. I'm not even going to waste my time. This is why I'm speeding up this lesson today, because it's part 2 and we don't need another hour lecture. But you must know that I am doubling down. I'm not doubling down because I need anything to prove. I'm not proving nothing to you. There's been several emails that were sent to me and several, you can call them men, but I would say emotional men who chimed in. And they seem to not understand my angle. So, as a professor here in the Academy of Wildman, it is my task to teach you and to explain things where you can understand. See, I'm not emotional, so I don't care about that. I don't mind explaining myself, because why and how can I say a statement when I'm not able to back it up or explain it? That's the beauty of debating. That's the beauty of having conversations amongst adults. Because an adult is able to explain themselves. A child is not. So you're listening to an adult here. And I mean what I say, and I said what I meant in part 1. It is exactly what I mean. But I understand. Hold on. Take a drink here. Throat's getting dry. Excuse me there. I understand that a lot of you men don't understand, and some women. Some women get it more than you men, boys. But I have to explain myself to you, because I can't teach you if I don't explain myself. See, I would be disingenuous, and I would not be servicing you here on this social media. I wouldn't be a professor if I don't have an angle for my purpose, right? Or a purpose for what I'm saying, so to speak. I wouldn't do you any favors if I'm jumping on here and saying men are failing or have failed according to part 1 and everything that I have said. If I don't give you an example, if I don't break it down to you to give you an understanding so you can think about, okay? So the reason for this second part 2 is not going to be a part 3. It's just part 2 of this. It's to simply give you some details, because I don't want to leave you with a question mark on your head. Okay? I need you to look at this and think about it and say, you know what? LCM has a point. I can see that. I can understand that. Why? Because I am not a contradictive man. I am who I am, and I say what I am, and I do what I am. Meaning, I've explained to you in the beginning of our, not mine, our channel. As a people, this isn't my channel. This is your channel. I may have started it, but I made it for you and your empowerment. So therefore, if I want you as a people to be empowered, I'm going to explain myself to you. Because I want to, and I think, again, I know and think it's a need to get this message across. So here I'll outline some things for you. Very simple. And this is what I mean by men have failed. Okay? The double down and explanation of part 1, where some of you are just, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. He just said that. Oh, he said, he think he's a better man. He think he's no. Let me school you for a second here, children. Okay? Have a seat, put your frail ass in a chair, and take your finger out of your buck-tooth mouth, okay, and your crocodile breath, and listen. Okay, if you can't do it, there's plenty of other channels. Go to somebody else's channels. I really don't give a damn. There are plenty of people who are teaching empowerment, man strength, woman strength, whatever you want to say. Okay, there's all kind of information on the internet. You don't have to come here. Be gone and let the door hit you and your flat ass on the way out. I'm here to speak to people who are looking for enlightenment and the truth. My truth is uncut, and I'm going to tell you like the hell it is. Okay, take your feelings somewhere else. I'm an adult. You should be an adult. If you can't handle it, go watch the Disney Channel. Turn this off and watch Netflix like most of you do. Let the television watch you. Don't watch the television. Now, this is where men have failed, and this is why I hold men accountable. This outlines and explains why I have said what I've said. Okay? See, I'm not backtracking. I'm explaining myself. I'm not going backwards. I meant what I said. And this is going to back it up. Okay? Now, I wrote it down. Now, according to today, and you can say yesterday. Now, here's the thing about the old men F-ers I've talked about. You could say they didn't have social media. You can say they didn't know much, but nature is nature. Meaning this, in the animal kingdom, they don't have social media, they don't have computers, and they don't have a dumb phone. But yet they operate just fine in their habitat as animals without needing to understand the outside world. So what's the difference between the average human being? Well, the average human being cannot think with all the options that they have, which only indicates their level of IQ. Meaning, if you're going to be right or make a probable and possible decision, it's still going to be accurate according to your morals and our tradition and or your idea of life, regardless of how many options that you may have, because you understand the optimized choice that you make is the best in that moment. And if you choose something else, you're going to sit down and think about the probabilities of destruction that's going to be made thereafter. If you don't understand what I just said, take your ass back to high school or middle school. Okay? I'm not going to repeat myself. Meaning, as a man, you logically think about your decisions, regardless of how many choices that you may have. All right? So, therefore, the animals who don't have as many choices as a human person may have, and the technology that the average person, or you could say man, might have, and they're not effing up and doing stupid like most of you do, okay, apparently they have to be smarter than the human being, although they're not capable of speaking and talking like the average human being, which is very ridiculous. So that outlines that the human being really isn't on the top of the pedestal or the food pyramid. If anything, you're at the bottom, but you're just a parasite eating off of every damn thing. So the issue of the matter is, with the older guys or men, there is still no excuse, because your instincts, your natural instincts should tell you what is and what isn't. But we have dropped, no, not we, you have dropped the ball. Some of you old earths have dropped the ball. Okay? Because you failed to understand yourself. You failed to understand what you were getting ready to create. You failed to see things 5 steps ahead of time. Like you playing chess. When I play chess, I look at it no less than 5 moves ahead. And it's not impossible to do. It is a standard that I have, because I got to predict what you're going to do if I move a pawn, a rook, or a bishop. If I move my queen to one block, I know that small move is going to dictate and has a probability and a predictability of what you might do to attack me, or what you might do to evade or to strategize against my pieces. Okay? Now, when I have said in the first video about being smarter, that I'm maneuvering differently and I'll do the dumb things that most common men do, that's not me beating on my chest. That's not me sitting and saying, I'm the best man. I just told you in the other one, I am not the best. And I'm not saying I am the best. I'm explaining to you that my moves are better than yours because I see things 5 steps ahead of time. Do you understand? When you playing chess with someone, you know when you can checkmate them in 5 moves because they're stupid. You know that they made a bad move. You know that they compromised their queen. They compromised their rook. But you, when you strategize correctly, you made smarter moves. So you realize that the person that is in front of you, your opponent, they're making moves that are putting them in. Listen. Hey, you idiot in the back of the classroom. Get your thumb out of the back. Listen. Take that damn cotton candy out of your mouth. And listen. When you watch this individual's moves, you realize they are compromising themselves and putting their life in jeopardy. And here's the worst part about it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? This is the worst part about it. They know what's coming. Meaning, you've been taught how to play chess. With life, that is. With dating. With women and men. Okay? You see other men going down that path and they're getting checkmate. But you and your funny, self-hating self will go down there anyway and put your life in jeopardy because you are hoping that your relationship's going to last. You're hoping she's not going to fleece you and bend you over the bench in the courtroom. You're hoping. Your word is hope, not my word. That's not in my definition. That's for you because you don't understand the definition of hope. You hope. I don't hope. I expect. And I make things happen. Hope never comes. That's just hoping. Almost like you're just jumping out of the window and you're hoping to bounce off the ground. Okay? That's stupid. I go by probability. What's the probable chance of me bouncing off the ground versus surviving or being able to have a net out there or some firefighters with the whole, what do you call that? There's a name for that thing. Okay? Trampoline sitting there waiting for me. Okay? You people, you just look at the window and you say, well, I hope this ain't going to happen. If it do, I'm going to jump out of the window. And when I jump out of the window, there isn't a second chance. There's no probability because I haven't did the math because I'm illogical and I'm in my emotional mind, my trained emotional mind of the common day that I'm going to survive. And you already see, as I explained it before, again, for you sloth loving people, is that women are divorcing men 80% of the time. Relationships aren't lasting no longer than 2 or 3 years nowadays. And it's a hookup culture. So you're playing a game of Russian roulette where you got a 6-bullet revolver and all the chambers are full besides one. That one chamber is a probability chamber of success or failure, depending on what you do. And the fact that she has so many men in her DM, the fact that she has so many guys chasing her, the fact that so many, and I'm going to get to that. Oh, I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Yes, indeed. The fact that she don't have to stick with you, Bozo the clown, you put yourself in a very confining situation that's going to delete your opportunities of successful financial, mental, spiritual, or physical growth and evolution and meeting your best horizon or having the ability to be your best self because you're too busy being a submissive. You're supposed to be the male or man who's leading her where you are the dominant one in mentality, not controlling her. You're just dominating because you're just the leader. You have to know what is coming before you. But too many of you have been raised by the old F-U-C-K or old person who didn't understand. You got me? Now, I put together a list of things that men are doing today. Since you want to talk about, oh, Morphe, you don't know what you're talking about. LCM, you call yourself a Morphe. You ain't nobody. Who cares about your companions? You don't say you better. No, I'm married, man. I'm a married man. What do you mean? You don't know nothing. You just stupid. You don't know nothing. You know, I'm emotional. I don't care. You think you better than me. You think you better than me. Okay, let me explain something to you because I understand your elevator stopped at the 2nd floor and you got like 12 flights. Okay, I suggest you just sit down and take some medication that you need to sit in your rocking chair and just go ahead and decay. I mean, that's what you want to do anyway. Slowly but surely, since you want to be an idiot. All right, I'm talking about mentally. I'm not threatening nobody. There's no threats here. I'm just telling you that when you don't take care of yourself, you let your life become, minute. You don't concentrate on your mind or your physical and your spiritual growth as a man. You're going to deteriorate, which is also known as decay. Do you understand how I put that together, or do I got to teach you again? God damn. So here, let me help you out, child. Okay? Here are the list of things that men are doing today, is doing, which indicates the failure of man. Do you get me, ladies and gentlemen? You understand? Huh? This outlines why I explained to you so thoroughly and have explained to you why the majority of the problems you're having today in this world, and why is it tethered to the failure of man and mankind. The failure of man and mankind is because the ignorance of man and mankind. Because you're making your cesspool a failure constantly. And because these common mankind that exist today don't and did not have a good father figure or a decent older man who thought about things 7 steps ahead of time, we are living in the results of the failures of those older failed people that we honored for no damn reason. Honor is earned, and honor needs to be respected if you earn it, but most of them have not earned it. They're no longer here, but they left crap behind that we as men, real men, got to clean up. But the real men are in very small numbers, apparently, because most men around here, like I said in the first audio, they're walking around on their tippy toes drinking soy milk. Soy boys, as you want to call them. So here it is. Here's your list of what these new boys / so-called men are doing today. Okay? According to the woman, instead of holding women accountable, instead of men being leaders, this is what men do. Okay? Instead of telling women the truth, listen carefully, instead of telling women the truth and being an honorable man and being a leader, he bails women out of her bad behaviors, especially when she don't deserve it. Okay? Bail her out. Give her a lower sentence. Give her a lower reprimand. Just give her a pat on the wrist. Okay? Now, you're going to understand that this is a recipe for disaster. Because imagine sitting in a room. You have 2 children. You have a girl and a boy. What will happen? Listen. Use your thinker. What will happen if you keep giving one child a pass? They're going to continue to think what? That they can constantly get a pass. And they don't think that the consequences is going to be, you could say, bad or worse. So they're going to keep acting out or getting out of control. Another thing, number 2, men praise women even if they don't deserve the praise. And I'm going to go down a list of things of how they praise women, but I'm just going to keep it simple and say men praise women even if they don't deserve the praise. Even if women don't praise the man or respect him, whoever he is, bozo. Okay? Men still put women on a pedestal even if this woman did not earn it. She didn't work to get the praise, but because she's a woman, she get praise. Number 3, men are always giving women emojis, heart faces, heart eyes, squashes, all kind of funny faces on the internet and social media for a bikini pic. Okay? For a booty pic. For a stance, for a pose, or whatever these girls are doing online. And so this gives a woman false validation that what she's doing is healthy and are good. But if anything, it's hurting her in the long run because she's actually putting herself up for sale, because men are visual creatures. Men are visual creatures. She's doing more damage than good, because when it comes time to be with a decent man or a man of quality and value, most men of quality and value and a decent upstanding guy is not going to be interested in marrying or being in a serious relationship with the girl who has her body and herself all over the internet for the world to see. Is going to ruin his reputation, and he might as well go ahead and share her if he chooses to go down that path. So he's giving her, with the heart emojis and heart eyes, false sense of self-worth. Number 4, men give women money just to be given money. Women got cash apps. They have their you could say their cash links on their social media, Facebook, OnlyFans, or whatever else that they're doing. Okay. Men don't even know these girls, but because she got a cash app, but because she's asking for money, and here we go, because she's cute, nothing else. She didn't come over and vacuum his floor. She didn't help take care of his child when he went to work. She didn't send him a box of ties for his birthday or for his anniversary for his wife, because some of them, they are married. And because they can't get any poom poom from their wife, they sitting on the internet giving other women money, heart emojis, and praising them and bailing them out because they have no life. So when you're giving women all these money, all the money or the money from himself or whatever his financial resources is or could be, it deteriorates her mind into thinking, oh, that's what men are all about, just money. Okay, so I can just continue to monetize myself then. So if I put it out there, he's going to put some money on it. Okay, I'll take it, dummy. Now, remember, this is what men are doing. This is what you funny clowns are doing. Number 5. Let's see here. Feel good lies. That's when you are with the women physically. Men like to give women feel good lies instead of telling the truth. Yeah, you look good. Yeah, I love your career. Yeah, we can hang out. We might be something in the future. Yeah, we might get married. The list goes on. They give women feel good lies instead of the truth because they're not, you could say, mature enough. They're afraid of losing the poom poom or losing her vote. So instead of telling the truth, letting her know what it is, hey, I'm non-monogamous, I got other girlfriends, I'm not really interesting like that, but hey, I can smack the skins, for about 20 minutes, but I got to get out of here. They can't say that because they got to play into the girl's story of a monogamous relationship or play into her feelings to get her to stay around and give her all kind of lies. She's like, what are we? He's like, well, we're something, let's work on it. Just be patient. I'm going through some things, and she been with you for like 4 years. 4 years, and you still talking about getting yourself together. No, and eventually she'll realize you lying to her. Instead of you saying you don't want to get married, instead of him just being honest and saying, well, I'm not feeling you like that. I just want you to be around because I want some free booty every now and then. No, he's not going to say that, because if he does, guess what? She's out of the door. She is out of there. She's not coming back. Or she will and just accept that she's going to be a booty call, and she might have a guy on the side. Get ready for STDs. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. But you know what? Men give women comfortable lies. That's the problem. Feel good lies instead of being honest. You men do that. Again, if y'all just now listening to me in this lesson here as your professor, I'm explaining the list of things of why I say men have failed and is still failing, according to my audio I just sent called It's the Stupidity of Men is Outrageous. So this is part 2. Number 6, men follow women on social media. They follow, they give likes. That's actually number 1, 2, 3. That's actually number 7. But number 6 is men follow women on social media. They follow them. False validation. Once again, this is why it's difficult if a man has a social media or Instagram, he might get about 50, 100 or something like that followers. various people. But the girl, she might have 500 or 600 in a day. And you want to know who's most of her followers? Guess, men. That's right. Hungry, thirsty, redundant, self-hating, simp men. Not women, men. And of course, I said number 7, they like the pictures. So you're going to like this girl picture and give her a false sense of validation, false sense of self-worth. This includes why women walk around the street like her stuff don't stink, like her she don't stink. Okay? Because a lot of you men, you're giving likes and emojis and every extra explanation I just given to you. This is what you do. So now she's walking around thinking she's a queen. She's thinking she's untouchable. And I might add, this is why some of these women, when they get pulled over by the police officer, okay, you ready? Let's go there. This is why when they get pulled over by a police officer for a single ticket, or maybe her taillight's out, or maybe the officer wants to tell her that her tire is flat and very dangerous. Maybe the officer's realizing that her turn signal is flickering and he's going to pull her over to make sure that everything's okay. This is why the woman will always give the officer a hard time. Who you think you are? You're pulling me over. I'm just on my way to the grocery store. What do you want? The officer's like, I just want to see your license and your registration, ma'am. What are you talking about? You can't tell me to do this and you can't tell me to do that because who are you? And listen, the officer's trying to be patient. Ma'am, listen, I just need your driver's license and your registration. And we don't have to go there. You don't have to have a difficult time here, ma'am. Just like, what are you talking about? I got places. You can't pull me over but you harass. Nah, this is harassment. This is harassment. You can't pull me over. I'm too pretty for this. I'm too special. I'm on my way to my campus. You can't pull me over. The reason is because you funny men, and when I say funny, I'm trying my best. It's hard for me to try to be nice. It's hard to try to talk clean. I do my best because I'm trying to keep things YouTube friendly. But when I say funny, I don't mean you're funny. When I call you funny, it's the worst of words for me to call somebody funny. Because I really want to say something else to you. You men are the reason why women have this false sense of entitlement, where it's even difficult for the officers to deal with these women because they think they're entitled. All of them driving like they Karens because of you beefing her head up, telling her she's the queen of the world. So she's not going to be respectful of authority. Let me say that again. Because you are not a respectable man to respect yourself, your money, your attention, and your time. How is she going to respect authority? And you, as a man, supposed to be the icon of authority. You too busy giving her comfortable lies. You too busy sucking up behind her. You too busy being a submissive. Let me stop. Stop. LCM, don't say it. Don't say it. Shut the hell up, LCM. Shut up. I'm about to say it. Man. Let me stop. Ooh, take a breather. Ooh's fraba. Bruise fraba. Boy, you guys, you boys, give them false sense of entitlement, and you don't hold them accountable for their bad behavior. You do not correct them when they're wrong. You give them a pat on the shoulder or a little pat in the back of their hand. So when an officer's just simply trying to do his or her job and say, ma'am, your tail light is out, and I want you to drive carefully, and let me see your driver's license and registration because this is just a part of the protocol. Now she doesn't think she need to apply to authority because you was the only authority, and she's this spoiled brat of a woman because of you. This is how Karens are born. This is how the worst of your female society, especially in America, is born, because nobody puts them in check. And now the officer got to take it to the level that he or she wasn't trying to get to because of your moron ass. And now she's struggling on the side of the car. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just, you can't pull me in. I just, you could have asked me nicely. And the officer's like, I did ask you nicely, woman. But he has to come up behind you men. You see what I mean? This thing branches out to multiple directions. This indicates when I say it is men's fault, it is men's fault. Number 8. Sugar daddies. Oh, here we go. Oh, the sugar daddy. The guy who's willing to pay for her. The guy who's willing to buy her life. Oh, the sugar daddies are the worst. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad or good. I'm not judging you. No, I'm not judging you. But I will tell you this. There's, what do you call that? Cause and effect with most of everything. There's consequences behind most, if not everything. Do you understand? When a certain animal it goes extinct out of the, I guess you can call it ecosystem or out of nature. Okay. It's going to affect it a certain way. It's going to affect how the animal kingdom operates because you need that certain animal in circulation for, you can say, the cycle of life. So when you got sugar daddies buying women, paying for their attention, paying for their time, paying for their college tuition, paying for them to get on a yacht, paying for their life, basically. This woman is I'm not going to get into it. She's imprinted by this guy. And so it's an expectation that she's going to have, especially if the sugar daddy is really putting down some good money. It's going to make her rotten eventually. He's not helping the world. He's making the world worse. Instead of being a leader, instead of being a headstrong man who's looking towards the future, he don't care. He's thinking out for himself. Now you can probably understand what I mean by old MFer. Okay, you can kind of understand why I'm saying this, because they didn't help you. They did not care about the future. They cared about their own breeches. All they cared about is getting their little Johnson wet. They didn't care about the future. They cared about themselves, but they were supposed to be men to lead the future generation into prosperity. Anytime you thinking with your little Johnson, there's going to be a consequence, and a lot of them have. We already understand that Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. That happens every now and then. Sometimes he got to have his itch scratched. I'm not saying that is something that's not going to happen and it can't happen and he should not do that. But I mean, you should have your priorities in check and in place where you're not causing a ripple for the future. But because men was leaders, and let me go ahead and put this here. I'm gonna go ahead and say this because this makes a whole lot of sense. This is why women wanted to break free so bad. Listen, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I don't give a about how y'all feel. Because take your feelings somewhere else. This is why I understand females very, very clearly. I see why they hate some of y'all asses. I see why. I understand why women wanted to break free, because you men have created a terrible infrastructure. I'm not talking about a comfortable lifestyle. I'm not talking about what you've created, engineering and bridges and things like that. No, because you didn't understand the damages that you was creating with your interferences with her, with the opposite sex. That is what your problem was. And so because you was misguiding the future, because you was thinking about your vanilla sausage, you created more of a catastrophe than a success. Buying a girl's life instead of putting her up as far as morals or being a good example or saying, hey, this is not what you want to do because you're going to ruin yourself. You're going to get married in the future. You're going to have to look for a husband. Most of you men were too busy thinking about yourself. And you know what's bad about it? And I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you what's bad. What's bad is A lot of these men, the reason why I've said what I said in the first audio, check this out, is because they know they're getting ready to check out. Listen, they're between 50 and 70 years old. They know they're getting ready to check out. So you think they give a care about the future? Do you think they give a damn? Do you honestly think they care about the damages that they're going to leave behind? No, they don't. They don't give no, they don't care. They're not going to be here to see the future generation. They don't care about the future generation because they just want to get their whistle wet and disappear. That's what they do. You understand? It confirms a lot about what I was talking about previously. Because why are they going to sit here and say, well, I care about my next generation and my kids and my kids' kids and my kids' kids. No. They were like, hey, I'm not going to be here forever. I want to be with a pretty little thing. If I have to pay for it, I will. If I have to sacrifice my future for it, I will. I don't care about the next generation, how they feel about it. It don't matter because I'm going to be in the grave anyway. That's the hardcore truth. So they dropped a pile of fecal matter on your future and walked away, and we supposed to respect them as men. Get the hell out of here. Number 9. Number 9 is the men who fly women out. They fly women out all over the place where they halfway and are barely pay for their own flight. They will pay to have that girl come to him to get him some poom poom. No different than a simp. Yeah, you still responsible. Still some stupid that you doing. Still dumb. Still responsible. Flying women out. Giving them free trips. Yacht trips. Don't even have to pay to get in the VIP. As long as she's pretty, she can be there. Do you understand if, let me stop. Y'all IQ is so distorted. It's ridiculous. I got to explain myself. It's dumb that this is the new way of communicating the dating scene. This is stupid. Should be common sense. If you continue to spoil someone and they never have to work just to be there, if they're just invited to the party just to come to the bar and you pay for them to come to the party and they don't have to improve themselves, they will never improve themselves. They don't have to work for the entry fee. You're going to fly me out and pay like $1.5 or something like that for a suite and, hot tub and a yacht. And I'm going to party and all I got to do is just show up because I'm handsome. That's it. I mean, I don't have to do nothing else. I mean, I don't have to have a blue check. I don't have to just like, hey, just show up. Hey, LCM, just show up and everything's paid. We just want you to be here just because we want you to be here because you're handsome. I don't have to improve nothing else. I mean, I can be a dodo bird. I can be stupid. I mean, is that it? Don't have a job and I can just show up. If this happens for about, till I'm 21 or something like that, 22. If this happens over and over and over again, and nobody's telling me I need to improve or, they're not telling me the truth that I got to do better for myself. I need to do this and that, right? Have a better attitude or, cook clean or provide anything for her or something of that nature. I'm not going to even be conscious that I need to improve myself because I'm going to be spoiled. But because you men are doing this for women, I'm going to fly her out because she's cute. She's a sexy. I'm going to fly her out. She's not going to have room to improve. You're responsible why these women are the way that they are. And you wonder why they got a false sense of entitlement because you men are so smart. Just like average. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop right there. Let me pump the brakes. I digress. I'm moving on to the next one. Number 10. I just said that. Free trips. Free trips. Oh, she's cute. Oh, yes. I think she's an 8 or a 9. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pay for it and bring her on through. This is what we do because I'm thinking with my vanilla sausage. That's all I know to do is to think with my vanilla sausage because I got nothing else. Then after that, I don't care about the next generation. Let me just go ahead and rot in the whole society. It's men who drop the ball. And let's see here. Last but not least is men worship women without women doing or needing to do the work. It is clear on social media. It is clear on dating sites. It's clear that if women don't need to approach men because men are approaching women, men are typically going to worship women. It just comes hand in hand. You worship them. Men don't worship their time, their money, attention, their freedom, their energy, their mindset, their infrastructure. You worship women. And I've explained this before. You got two people coming to the table. There's a give and there's a take. And you go where you appreciate it. You go where you are loved. You go where you are accepted and they're putting in equal effort. You understand? See, women have talked about equality for a long time, but if you talk to the majority of them, they don't approach men. And don't get up here talking that BS. They do and nothing. Shut up. You're lying to yourself. Stop lying to me and stop lying to yourself. Globally, if you sit 100 women down, 90% of them are going to say they don't approach men. They don't think it's right for them to do that because 90% of them is being approached by beta men. A man of quality and value don't need to approach women because he understands his value as well. As a matter of fact, he's going to ignore them. He's going to make the woman work and say, hey, if you want me, you're going to have to show me. If I take 2 steps towards you, you better damn well take 2 steps towards me. If you don't want to, guess what? You can kick rocks. I got other options. I'm not going to sit up here and force you or convince you or entice you or to make you be interested in me. That's not a real relationship. You're here because you want to be here. If you don't want to be here, go kick rocks. Leave. There's others who are interested who will take the next measure. And you know what? And the thing is, women actually say that. They say that because they understand if you, as Bozo the Clown, don't approach her, there's going to be 50 other Bozo the Clowns that look just like you who is going to approach her. She have that much confidence because you men have rotted and pissed in the bed. But if 50% of you funny guys stop approaching and act like you got some good damn sense, then that's going to force them and or inspire them or probably give them the common sense to realize they got to put forth the effort as well. But you men are not going to do it because you too beta, you too soy drinking, walking on your tippy toes, and don't concern yourself with yourself. So you rather bend over backwards, enslave, and worship her even if she don't deserve it. That's what you do. So you drop the ball. You drop the ball. Now I'm not going to hold you for too much longer, but this is details as to why. This is details as to why. Because you give women so much validation, so much attention, so much of your time, so much of your money, so much of your finances. Then you buy the cow that's been used. Then you go to the used car lot and buy the car that's been used for a full price. And you wonder why your life breaks down. You wonder why you struggle. You wonder why after 5 years she divorces you and goes and date the pool boy or the pastor or her boss. Because you as a bozo don't understand where you stand in society. You've been a pack mule and a slave all your life where you have never understood your own value. And some of you still don't understand your value. So how could she not think the way she thinks? How can women not disrespect you when you disrespect yourself? How can women not put you in the bracket of beta and simp when most of you is in the bracket of beta and simp? They're just telling you the truth. All women are doing is reflecting the potential, the value, and the ignorance of man. Let me say that again. The only thing women are doing is reflecting, showing you, and demonstrating the weakness, the failure, the ignorance, and the low standards of the modern man. That's all they're doing. Because when you stand up, they'll stand up. When you sit down, they will sit down. But too many of you men do not even love yourself. So you drop the ball. And again, yes, she has her accountability. And I have several audios discussing how women have been distorted in their own mindset and how they carry themselves. But that doesn't mean that men escape scrutiny either. Y'all are the big reason why the world is the way that it is. If you're logical, you're in engineering, you're in IT, you're in STEM, you built the bridges, you're a construction worker, you're a police officer, you're a doctor, you're a leader, you're in the politics, you have a responsibility. And most times when you F up, everything behind you does the same. When the head falls, the body crumbles. When the mind of an individual is jacked up, the whole body feels it. And whenever you hit your toe on a table in the middle of the night, even though it's not going to hurt the brain, the sensors is going to hit the brain, and the brain is going to explain to the rest of the body, ouch, it hurts. And there's the pain. So when the man who's supposed to be the head of the society becomes a weak ass simp and do not even understand his own value and give everything that I've explained to you on this list that they're doing daily, you are creating the dynamic of this dating arena that you are dealing with today, and mainly in America, even though it's becoming a thing around the world, because men are softer than what they ever used to be because you don't understand your own qualities and values. And then on the flip side, you want to blame it on women. Get the hell out of here. You got soft and you got weak, and definitely pathetic. You need to pack your bags, walk the other direction, go in the forest, chop some damn trees, act like a damn man, focus your energy in your life on something else, and make everybody else and everything else earn their position in your life. Then maybe you can get some respect and some honor. Then find out what your standards are, and stop trying to suck up to everybody else and lie to them and make the world a worse place than what it is. I keep it real over here. That's the lesson for today. You've been served reality.